chaos is an appropriate description for 2020, and if anyone can definitely claim that they represent chaos in the world of music, it's Marilyn Manson. The shock rocker would feel missed if he, of all people, did not have something to offer in such a wild year, and we are getting that in a two-sided concept album, We Are Chaos, his 11th studio album. Many people, including myself, make jokes about how 2020 is ushering in the apocalypse, but if that's the case, then it makes sense that Marilyn Manson would want to jump in on that action. I mean, come on, this is the perfect year for him to do something. We Are Chaos, running 42.5 minutes across 10 tracks, is a two-sided concept album broken into a true Part A and Part B. Manson said they were very particular about how everything was pieced together, with the album being written and created in quarantine, remotely, and while Manson was not at his home studio, it was a new writing setting and a new process to plan out. Manson also described We Are Chaos in an interview with Rolling Stone as the following: "This was recorded to its completion without anyone hearing it until it was finished. There is most definitely a side A and side B in the traditional sense, but just like an LP, it is a flat circle and it's up to the listener to put the last piece of the puzzle into the picture of songs." By forcing Manson into a different working environment and creating new limitations on how to create music, the results are more likely to lead something much different than the previous few releases. It's both that description of a side A and side B album distinction, along with having an ongoing concept that also piqued my interest. I admittedly have never been a huge Marilyn Manson fan, and this album review is coming from someone who is not a diehard fan, but is also not against him, and is also very aware of his work. That being said, yeah, Manson trying to make something different this time actually sounds like something I'd be interested in hearing. The album opens up with Red, Black, and Blue and has an ominous first half that sets a foreboding atmosphere. The second half has the energy and rhythm pickup, and the song works as a great opener. The instruments all come in distinct to add to the motion, and Manson sounds sinister. The quieter bridge changes the sound, but it adds to Manson's intimidating delivery. The title track follows, which was the original single for the new album. I was shocked the first time I heard the track, and not because it was a shock rocker trying to offend me, but because it was something much calmer than expected with acoustics. It's okay, I guess. The song harshly transitions from the opener for sure, and while lyrically fine, it sounds like many of the parts don't add to the right combination. Not the worst, but doesn't make me want to come back to it. The title track was an interesting choice for a single, and I feel it sounds out of place when following Red, Black, and Blue and when compared to some of the other songs on the album. It definitely is by design, however. As Manson said, everything is intentional in placement for the concept. As for the rest of the album, there's a lot going on. Don't Chase the Dead has a hazy guitar effect with Manson alternating between loud and then groaning out lyrics at low volumes, especially in the verses. The rhythm picks up in the second half for sure, and it does have more energy than the title track, but it all revolves around the singing of Don't Chase the Dead as a big hook. It's solid for what it is. Paint You With My Love reverts back slightly to the style of the title track with a slow pace, and while it does feel like a movie soundtrack song carrying characters and a story, and the line of Let Me Paint You With My Love is quite memorable to say the least, the song really does not feel like Marilyn Manson at all. It's out of left field for someone who relies on making music intended to be shocking. The song isn't shocking as it is awkward. Halfway and one step forward steps up the mixing and production on the industrial side slightly, and the piano notes help a ton. This is a methodical song with distinct parts, and I feel has a better design than the previous track. It doesn't end with a big bang, but kind of repeats until it stops, which I think is what the song is missing. That and Manson droning out the vocals again. Then we start the distinct second half with Infinite Darkness. From the opening moment, you feel a distinct difference from the past few songs. The percussion comes in heavier, and Manson has more fire. This is what I was hoping for in something new from Manson. The music is stronger, lyrically it's haunting with the lines like "You're dead longer than you were alive." This song works. Perfume continues with Manson having a bit more energy in his delivery. The song starts interesting, but it's at the chorus that things feel a bit drawn out. Everything feels stretched, and if the song was a step quicker, I feel it would stand out much more, but it's like several other tracks on the album where you lose interest after a while. Get Behind Me, Satan is also an interesting line to hear from Manson of all people. Keep My Head Together has more guitar work and rhythm, and oddly feels like a parallel universe style of Manson from 90s music with a surprising upbeat vibe and atmosphere. Another song that feels like a movie soundtrack, and I think this is where Manson is thinking outside the box a bit. It's hard to get a handle on, but it doesn't sound bad. Sol de Coagula goes back to the style of the title track and Paint You With My Love. This is a style on the album that really defines how We Are Chaos, the album, sonically feels. There are some unique lyric lines like "I'm not special, I'm just broken," but musically, it's nothing that hasn't been done already on the album. We Are Chaos closes with Broken Needle, and the acoustic guitar with faded backtrack vocals really works well. Manson's lines of staring into the mirror, which is a big part of the album concept, is solid. Lyrically, it's strong, the chorus is a touch louder, and this song takes its time but doesn't feel stretched out or too long at all. This time, it feels warranted, as this works as a closer. I came into We Are Chaos expecting to hear something different from Marilyn Manson. I do feel I got something different, but I also feel like there wasn't a ton to sink my teeth into. It's more interesting than Heaven Upside Down, but the music also doesn't leave that much of a lasting impression. Better written lyrics and concept, odd choices for some of the music. It's hard to nail down, by no means bad, but nothing to really knock you off your feet. Overall, We Are Chaos shows off Marilyn Manson's ability to think outside the box and try something different when in a new environment and being forced to work differently, but the execution is not as exciting as the overall concept and plan. Lyrically strong, even if musically nothing great, Manson's entry in 2020 should satisfy his diehard fans. An interesting album, even if nothing shocking this time from the shock rocker. What did you think of We Are Chaos? Leave a comment and let everyone know. Big thanks to my patrons and a special thanks to Brandon Bairdfeld, Chris Doman, McKenna White, and Dom Smith. You can have a say in upcoming videos and see videos early by supporting Rocked on Patreon. Please check out the link in the video description for more info. Please subscribe and ring the bell to get notified on upcoming videos. You can check out my concert photography on Instagram, and you can keep up to date with Rocked on Facebook and Twitter.